Who is this that questions my wisdom with words without understanding?
Let the day of my birth perish, the night that said, "A man is conceived." Why did I not die at birth? Why did I even see the light?
Imagine if, without any warning, everything you cherished was suddenly gone. Your children taken, your home destroyed, your wealth stolen or reduced to ashes, your health completely broken. What if the very people meant to comfort you blamed you instead? And worse, what if God Himself seemed silent? Would you still trust Him? This is the story of Job. Once there lived a man named Job in the land of Uz. Job was a man of integrity, blameless, upright, and faithful to God. He feared the Lord and avoided evil. He was blessed with 7 sons and 3 daughters, and owned thousands of animals. 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 oxen, and 500 donkeys, along with many servants. Job was known as the greatest among all the East people. Job's sons often held joyful feasts in their homes on their birthdays. They always invited their 3 sisters to join them, enjoying food, laughter, and celebrating together. But when the days of feasting were over, Job would take spiritual responsibility for his family. Early in the morning, he would offer a burnt sacrifice for each of his children, saying to himself,
Perhaps my sons or daughters have sinned or spoken against God in their hearts.
This was something Job did regularly, a continual act of love, reverence, and spiritual care for his family. One day, the sons of God came before God, and Satan appeared among them. The Lord asked,
Where have you come from?
From roaming the earth, going back and forth.
Have you considered my servant Job? There's no one like him, faithful, upright, and pure.
Does Job fear you for nothing? You've protected and blessed him and his household. His possessions have increased in the land. Now take it all away, and he'll curse you to your face.
Very well. Everything he owns is in your hands, but do not touch his life. Do not lay a finger on him.
Time to destroy this man. I will make sure he despises God.
So, Satan went out from the presence of the Lord to do what he wanted. One normal day, Job was at home when messengers arrived, one after another, each with terrible news. The first messenger came running breathless and terrified. He cried out,
The oxen were plowing, and the donkeys were grazing nearby when the Sabaeans attacked and stole your oxen and donkeys. They killed the servants. I alone escaped.
Before he finished, another rushed in.
The fire of God fell from the sky and burned up the sheep and the servants. I'm the only one who escaped to tell you.
Then came a third.
The Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties, swept down on your camels, and carried them off. They killed your servants, and I alone escaped to tell you.
And before that voice faded, a fourth ran in, trembling.
Your sons and daughters were feasting at the home of your oldest son when a strong wind came from across the desert. It struck the house, and it collapsed on them. They are all dead. I alone escaped to tell you.
In moments, Job's entire world collapsed. His wealth gone, his home ruined, his beloved children dead. Job stood up, tore his robe in grief, and shaved his head in mourning. Yet instead of cursing God, he fell to the ground and worshipped, saying,
Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
In all this, Job did not sin or blame God for any wrongdoing. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
Where have you come from?
From roaming about the earth, from east to west and south to north, looking for whom to accuse and destroy.
Have you seen my servant Job? There is none like him. Even after you pushed me to destroy him, he remains faithful, blameless, and upright. He still holds fast to his integrity.
Skin for skin. A man will do anything to save his own life. Strike his flesh and bones, and he'll curse you.
Very well, he is in your hands, but you must spare his life. Do not touch his life.
Then Satan left the Lord's presence and struck Job with painful boils from head to toe. His entire body was covered in sores that oozed and burned. Every movement brought agony. Stripped of wealth, family, and now his health, Job was unrecognizable. He wandered to the outskirts of the city, the place where ashes were thrown, and sat there alone. Using a piece of broken pottery, he scraped at his sores to ease the pain. His wife, weary and heartbroken, looked at him and said,
Are you still holding on to your faith? Curse God and die.
Job replied sorrowfully,
You speak like one of the foolish women. Shall we always accept good from God and not trouble?
Even then, Job did not sin with his lips. When Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, heard of his suffering, they came to comfort him. But when they saw him from a distance, covered in sores, sitting in ashes, they were shocked. They raised their voices and wept, tore their robes, and sprinkled dust on their heads in sorrow. Then they sat beside him in silence, 7 days and 7 nights. No one spoke a word, for his grief was overwhelming. At last, Job spoke. He cursed the day of his birth.
Let the day of my birth perish, the night that said, A man is conceived. Why did I not die at birth? Why did I even see the light?
He longed for peace, wishing he had never lived to see such pain. Then his friends began to speak.
Job, don't be angry, but no innocent person suffers like this. God punishes the wicked. Perhaps you've done something wrong.
You twist my pain into accusation. I know my heart, and God knows it too. Even if he crushes me, I will still trust him.
How long will you talk like this? Maybe your children sinned. God is just. If you were truly righteous, he would help you.
You mock me and blame the dead. If only God would answer, I'd plead my case. But he hides while I waste away.
Stop deceiving yourself. God knows your wickedness. Beg for mercy before it's too late.
And so began the long debate. Job defending his innocence and accusing God of being unfair, while his friends insisted his suffering must be punishment. Yet, even as they argued, God was listening. Then, after the silence, after Job's cries and his friends' speeches, The Almighty finally spoke. Then a mighty storm formed. Dark clouds swirling, lightning flashing across the sky. In the middle of that raging storm, Job stood trembling, feeling the sheer power of creation. Out of the whirlwind, the voice of the Lord thundered.
Who is this that questions my wisdom with words without understanding? Stand firm like a man. I will question you and you will answer me. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me, if you know, who measured its dimensions? Who set its cornerstone while the morning stars sang and the angels shouted for joy? Can you command the stars, bind the Pleiades, or loosen Orion's belt? Can you lead the constellations through their seasons, or set the laws of the heavens in place? Can you provide food for the lion or the raven's young when they cry for help? Do you know when the mountain goats give birth, or how the deer brings forth her young? Can you tame the wild ox or make it serve you? Do you give the horse its strength, the courage to charge into battle, unafraid of the sword or the sound of the trumpet? Does the hawk soar by your command, or the eagle build its nest high above the cliffs?
Then God spoke of the mighty creatures of his creation. Behemoth, strong and powerful, with bones like bronze and muscles like iron. And Leviathan, the untamable sea creature no man could capture.
If no one is strong enough to challenge Leviathan, then who can stand against me? Everything under heaven belongs to me.
Job fell silent before the Lord. He whispered,
I am unworthy. How can I answer you? I spoke once, but I will say no more. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. Therefore, I repent in dust and ashes.
Job surrendered to God's wisdom and trusted him, even when he couldn't see the reasons for his suffering. Then the Lord spoke to Eliphaz.
My wrath is kindled against you and against your two friends, for you and your friends have not spoken the truth about me, as my servant Job has. So now take 7 bulls and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and sacrifice a burnt offering for yourselves. My servant Job will pray for you, and I will accept his prayer, and not deal with you according to your folly.
They obeyed. And when Job prayed for them, God accepted his prayer. Then God restored Job's fortunes, twice as much as before. He was blessed with 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 oxen, and 1,000 donkeys, along with 7 sons and 3 daughters again. He lived 140 more years, seeing his children and grandchildren to the 4th generation. In the end, Job died old and full of days. Job's story teaches us something powerful. Faithfulness to God doesn't mean life will always be easy. We'll face trials, pain, and moments we can't explain. But God's wisdom is far greater than ours. Even when we don't understand, we can still trust that He is good. It's okay to cry, to question, to feel lost. But even then, hold on to faith Because sometimes God uses suffering to shape us, strengthen us, and grow our faith in ways we could never imagine. And in His perfect time, He restores, bringing new hope, new joy, and new life. May Job's journey remind you, you are never alone, and God's love is greater than any storm you face.
Suffering come knocking at my door. I say, suffer what you want me to do. Took my kids, took my house, everything I had I lose. But I still got God. They say I should curse Him. They say make I leave Him. But I say no, no, no. I go there with my God, my God, not my Papa. Sickness come knocking at my door. I say, sickness, what you want me to do? Covered in boils, head to toe. Every day pain they pursue, but I still got God. They say I should curse Him. They say make I leave Him. But I say no, no, no. I go there with my God, not my Papa.